You're listening to Not So Live from Asteroid G. I am your host, Mike Finkelstein. Joining me is my co-host,
Josh Schaefer.
There you go.
Esquire.
Yeah, finally getting you to do something for my site again after how many years now? 8, 10, something like that.
I think Jumper was in theaters still.
And your brother tried to submit a review of it, and we rejected it.
Rejected.
Yep. Well, it was crap, so.
I mean, so was the movie.
For some reason, I have high editorial standards for a crappy little blog, so.
Hey, all 5 of us really enjoy it.
All 5 of us who used to write for the thing.
Yep.
So, Josh, tell us about you, since obviously I've written hundreds of articles since the site relaunched, and you've done jack squat.
I read
That's so helpful.
stuff.
That's so helpful for the content of the site.
I mean, the content-wise, I watch movies and stuff, and
And don't say anything about them.
editorialize them in my brain. And then I play video games and talk about them with myself.
Well, I mean, obviously, I've, on the site before, given out, like, my top 5. I've given out my top 10 movies twice at this point. So, I don't know. What's your top 5 anything? If you had to choose 5 things you really like.
So my top 5, whatever I want,
Yes,
Mike.
absolutely anything you want, Josh.
So number 1 would obviously be the Hawks. And for the listeners who don't know what Hawks are, I am specifically talking about the DC Universe's Hawkman and Hawkgirl, also Hawkwoman at times.
And
so that's my first spot. That's
does that
3.
include the rest of the Thanagarians? Am I
Yes.
saying that right?
Yes.
Wow, I'm also
I'm one of 7 people that enjoy their storylines.
Because I'm not one of them.
Jeff Johns is, and he's a genius.
He is, but that's
But also Rob Liefeld. So that balances out.
that balances out. Yeah, the guy that can't draw feet.
Yeah, or
Hawkman, for that matter.
Or draw.
Yeah, oh.
So,
poor Liefeld. Number 2.
Also, I just want to add, if Rob Liefeld, if you're listening to this, I will destroy you.
I was going to say, I'm not sorry about anything we just said. Number 2.
Number 2, Big Trouble in Little China is probably one of my favorite movies for multiple reasons. One, you see Kurt Russell with the mullet. Number 3.
I can support that.
Number 3.
I support that. Number 3.
Number 3, I would have to say Ghostbusters.
Nice. Like the first movie or both or just the whole franchise?
The remake. Specifically only the remake.
I thought you hated that movie.
I did. I'm just messing with you.
So the first one?
The first one. And the second one. And the cartoon series.
So everything but the new one with the ladies that I actually didn't hate.
I didn't hate it. It's just
You kind of hated it.
They should have just called it Busters of Ghost. It was like it was like the Aldi's version of the Ghostbusters.
Okay, so you did hate it then.
No, I didn't hate it. I love Aldi's.
Sure. Okay, number 4. What?
I'm thinking.
How do you not have a 4th already?
I don't know. I mean, there's stuff.
What? Arrested Development?
Oh, TV shows. We can do that.
You can do anything. It's anything.
Wow.
Because you did Hawkman and then like 2 movie franchises.
Terminator.
Okay.
That was
So back to a movie franchise again, despite prompting.
Well, you see, Mike, when you're as cool as I am, there's a lot of things that get your attention, and I really like to watch 80s movies.
Okay, number 5.
Number 5? Okay. It's kind of a douche move, but don't want to hear my reasoning, but let's just
Okay, back to number 4 then. What for Terminator, what do you want?
I like Austrian men blowing stuff up. Number 5.
So wait, but not Predator or Commando or Red Heat or any of those, just specifically Terminator only.
Well, I mean, Predator was an offshoot of the Terminator franchise.
It was not.
Prove me wrong. You can't, because we're talking on the radio.
No, what? Okay, number 5.
It would have to be a tie between Metroid and Mega Man.
Okay, I can see that. I'm not even certain you have to explain that. I understand that.
And honorary mention, Tupac Shakur.
He's not higher on your list?
I mean, my music.
Do you need to rearrange your list now?
No.
Okay.
Just you gotta shout out to Tupac.
So I think today we are going to talk about Star Trek.
Yay.
Which was not on either of the lists that we potentially came up with there.
It's a different type of ranking system.
There you go. So, as anyone who has read the site will know, I recently went through and tried to review as much of the Star Trek franchise as I could without watching every single episode of it, because, wow, some of those shows suck. Animated series.
I like the animated series.
You're the only one.
No, there's like dozens of us.
Like the same people who like Hawkman?
Probably. We're a very classy group of elitists that control the monetary.
I get the feeling like you guys purposely try and find stuff everyone else hates so you can find a reason to like it.
I mean, I don't like Doctor Who, so you might be onto something.
That is a fair point. What are your feelings on the Star Trek franchise?
Uh,
Aside from apparently liking animated series.
I mean, the animated series isn't Oscar worthy. I mean, because it's not a movie, but I like Star Trek.
Okay. What
So,
favorite series?
Deep Space Nine. Cisco's my boy.
Cisco is awesome. I like his Shakespearean style for the most part. There are moments where he gets a little too over the top.
Early Cisco's a little tough.
Okay, to be fair, I rewatched like 5 episodes, including In the Pale Moonlight. Late Cisco also gets a little tough at times. It's just Cisco.
Honor the goatee, man.
Okay. No, but I mean, I like Cisco a lot, and I think I prefer him to some of the other captains there. Archer was
Yeah.
kind of like he's not bad, but he's not great. He's Captain Bland,
Yeah.
and Janeway does not impress me at all. I like the actress, but I don't like the character. She's
Janeway's issue was always she knew how to do everything, and you had all these kind of cool characters that never did anything because Janeway was the Swiss Army knife of the Voyager.
insert her into any situation, she knows how to fix it.
Yeah,
That's fine. So, what do you think about the new series, Discovery?
I loved it.
Why?
It was different. It was darker. I mean, I really like the Klingons. I really didn't like what they did with the Klingons, but kind of got used to them after a while. The story was a little bit predictable, but
I mean, as I've ranted on the website because I'm the one writing for it
yes, I've read.
right now. I'm sure you have. I did not care for the first season of Discovery at all, primarily because it really felt like Brian Fuller, before he got fired or quit or whatever it was that happened with the show, had a probably 5-year plan or so for that show, and then CBS condensed it down to 1 year, and
You missed a good opportunity to say 5-year mission.
I don't feel like I missed that at all.
I did, and I appreciate my own humor, but go on.
But yeah, it just felt like it moved way too quickly for the story it wanted to tell. Like, okay, so Michael Burnham, she's supposed to be the hero for the whole show, and she essentially becomes an unranked member of the crew after she gets sent to prison for mutiny, which I have my own issue with because a different show, the original series, said there's never been a mutiny in Federation before, and apparently there has been. Did they just wipe that away?
Well, maybe they got rid of it. We haven't seen season 2 yet, so we don't know.
But anyway, let's not get stuck in the minutia there. So she's supposed to have this huge arc, and it feels like her redeeming herself and becoming an officer again should be the arc of the whole series, and they wrap it up in 1 season.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what season 2 has in store for us.
Maybe she'll just become like Emperor of the Federation at the speed she's going.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay. I love the Terrans. So.
I conceptually I like the mirror universe. I don't like what Discovery did with it.
Enterprise had the best mirror universe.
Oh yeah, hands down the Mirror Darkly episodes were fantastic, but self-contained story that didn't require the Federation at all. That's pretty awesome there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they revisit that universe, the mirror universe. I forgot the word for the word mirror.
that I literally just said like a few
it's
times.
Like a reflection of our normal universe, but slightly altered. I don't know what you'd call it though. Different universe.
Parallel.
No, that's too comic book. So dumb.
Well, it is a comic book concept, though. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean they've been doing that since sci-fi was first sci-fi, right?
Since DC realized they had 2 different versions of Earth, they could have the Flash cross back and forth over to.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty certain that's how they've had the DC characters cross over with the Star Trek characters.
Yeah, probably.
Have the Flash run in and do some stupid crap.
I mean, that's the Flash.
It's what he does. The character of plot convenience anytime you need him to be. So, yeah.
That's what I appreciate about him.
But Star Trek.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. I know you didn't like Discovery.
Yeah.
And you didn't like Voyager.
Yeah.
You don't like Enterprise.
No, okay. I didn't hate Enterprise. I mean, going through all the shows, original series didn't hook me. And I think it's the fact that Star Trek for me got better the second Gene Roddenberry stopped being involved with it at all.
Ooh, you're gonna get some death threats now.
I'm not kidding. I know I'm in the minority on that opinion, but like first 2 seasons of Next Generation and pretty much all of the original series and whatever influence he had on the animated series, they're crap. Like there are episodes of the original series I like, but they don't rise to the level of making me ever want to watch the whole show.
Yeah, it has its episodes. Like I liked more of the characters than I did the actual plots, but
And then you take the motion picture, which is the most Gene Roddenberry of the motion
Ugh.
pictures.
That's what happens when someone wants to make 2001: Space Odyssey without
Honest.
having any talent for filmmaking.
Oh, ow. Yeah, the director they got for that was pretty ass.
Yeah, just a
We'll
lot of
edit those
slow. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of like there's 45 minutes of really interesting action in that movie that comes at the end, but to get there you have to slog through an hour and a half of not.
Yeah, my favorite part is a like 40-minute sequence of the Enterprise just leaving a space station.
I know, 35 minutes and they don't even actually get out of dry dock.
And it's just a very long shot of it just slowly moving in space.
And it's interesting to compare it to The Wrath of Khan, which came afterwards, and it's perhaps one of the least Gene Roddenberry of all the Star Trek movies. Yeah, because it's really, what's his name? Nicholas Meyer and Leonard Nimoy. They were the two that came up with that movie, and that's them. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you can tell that's not Gene Roddenberry's influence there. It's just the two of them that came up with that one. It is the opposite of the motion picture, both in just its content, but also the fact that, they're out into space within 5 minutes of the movie starting, and they use the exact same shots from the motion picture for like seeing the Enterprise, and it's like 30 seconds instead of 35 minutes.
Yeah. The editing was kind of tough, but
yeah. So
Star Trek 6 is my favorite though.
Love that movie so much. I'm glad you agree with me on that.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
unless you count Galaxy Quest, which I do.
I did put it on there. Galaxy Quest is great, and I think it's a great quote-unquote Star Trek movie. But if we're talking traditional movies, I'm not going to put it on the list.
Oh, no.
No. I mean, because at that point, if we're going to qualify anything that feels like Star Trek, we'd have to put Master and Commander on the list as well, which
That's true.
is a good naval movie that feels almost like Star Trek, but isn't quite.
No. But plus you have Christopher Plummer singing about Nazis in space.
As opposed to Christopher Plummer in movie 5, where he's just this random Terran ambassador.
I forgot about that.
I didn't. I'm like, hey, Christopher Plummer, what are you doing in this movie?
You'll be in the next one, and your career will tank after that.
Oh,
It didn't really tank. He had a very good
he's
career.
a great B movie actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd agree with him being a B movie actor.
Okay. He played Jack the Ripper in Time After Time. He's a B movie actor. I don't like whatever else.
You got me there. He was the lead in Sound of Music, though. That's something, right?
That where his career peaked? Is that what you're saying?
I don't
Because
know.
it feels like that's what you're saying. Wasn't he also in Waxwork?
Was he?
I think he was like
maybe.
I think he was the villain in Waxwork also. He like if you anyone who's in B like Waxwork is a B movie actor. I think we just have to qualify that.
I think that might check because I'm pretty sure Bruce Campbell was in that.
No, Bruce Campbell wasn't in those.
One. He was in
Oh yeah, he was. He was in the second one for the
he was the black and white like film noir.
the ghost sequence.
Yeah, which was the best one from that
And
one.
I mean, Bruce Campbell will fully admit that he's a B movie actor.
Yeah, but he's still a genius.
What were we talking about? Oh, Star Trek. That's right.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. So I would just fill this with 5 minutes of us going Star Trek.
And he also won an Academy Award.
You're cheating again, aren't you?
I am cheating.
You are.
I am.
What do you win it for?
Beginners.
I haven't seen
Best
that.
supporting actor. I didn't know it was a movie until just now. But you know what? That gets you an A.
There you go. So Star Trek 6 we agree on. Star Trek 2 we agree on. It's pretty good. And
Yeah.
I'm with you that Star Trek 6 is better. Well, what's your opinion on Star Trek 4?
It's all right.
That was a very long, staticky pause there.
Like, it took me a moment to remember what the story was.
Whales.
But it was the whales.
Whales.
Yeah. But it's definitely not my favorite, but there's a lot that are way worse.
Star Trek 1, Star Trek 5, Nemesis.
Anything that's not First Contact from the... Well, you said Nemesis, but I know you don't like First Contact.
Yeah, wow. The Next Generation movies are crap.
I like First Contact.
That's the only good one, and First Contact is like middle tier when like 6 and 2 are definitely top tier.
Yeah, they could have done a lot more with that.
Yeah, it's not even in the same ballpark.
But was it Genesis that had the weird, the bipolar data? Was that Genesis?
Generations, yeah. The awful... But then Data was awful in Insurrection also.
Yes, he was.
Yes. Like it's two completely different datas depending upon if you're watching 1 and 3 or 2 and 4 of the Next Generation movies.
Yeah, but Generations on paper should have been good because wasn't Anthony Hopkins the bad guy?
No,
Or
Generations was Malcolm McDowell.
that's what I meant. I always
Yeah.
get them confused because they're the same person.
They're really not.
I mean, they are.
Have you ever seen the two in the same room?
I haven't.
There you go.
I've met both of them individually at separate times.
At conventions?
No, I've never met them.
Oh. I was feeding you that one, trying to let you get away with that.
No, I wish I did,
Eh.
but
Malcolm McDowell seems cool.
yeah.
Like, crazy, but not in that,
Anyone who was in Clockwork Orange, I don't think is the most sane of people.
Oh, who's
Stanley
the
Kubrick does that to
crazy
you.
the crazy guy? Crap. His nephew was or son was in
Gary
Starship
Busey?
Troopers. There you go, Gary Busey. He's not Gary Busey crazy.
Nope.
No.
And I did meet Gary Busey and his son Jake Busey, who is a very nice man.
I was gonna say Jake Busey seems like he has the insanity, but he tempers it down. Gary Busey just seems like he did way too much cocaine and can never bring it back down to earth.
Yeah, there's something missing from that.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate.
because I've even seen interviews where he's trying not to be crazy and he's still insane. Yeah,
Yeah. Point Break must have done something to him.
he gravitates in a different planetary system. That's the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he knows it too, and he's just okay
Yeah.
with being like that.
But yeah, so if we're talking Star Treks in general, so I'm not a fan of original series. I'm not a fan of animated series. I'm not a fan of the first two seasons of Next Generation. I, at some point, need to try to get in there and watch, like, from season 3 or season 4 on.
Once you get past the second season, it's a lot more bearable.
Yeah,
second season's just not good.
Wow, I got, like, Encounter at Farpoint, the first 2 episodes were decent, and then it's the racist African episode, and then the Ferengi. And
Did you see the ghost rape one?
I hadn't gotten that far yet.
Oof,
No,
that's rough.
I think I watched like the fifth or
Space abortion. I can't remember which one.
5th or 6th episode. I think showed up on the list of top 5s for me to watch, but like the rest of it was just straight ass.
Yeah,
it was bad.
They didn't really get their groove yet. You know,
Not until the series was basically almost over.
yeah.
And then Deep Space Nine had a rough first season, but was nowhere near as bad as like how Next Generation started.
No, I mean Deep Space Nine started in the middle of Next Gen, so
It was pretty good, and then it got really great almost until like 7th season. And 7th season, I would say, fell apart by comparison, but was still pretty watchable. And then there's Voyager, and
they could have done so much with it.
the only good part of Voyager is the Doctor.
Oh yeah, the Doctor's great, and I like
Yeah.
the terrorist group. I just based
The
on
Maquis?
The Maquis, yeah, the Maquis were cool.
Yeah, but the Maquis, weren't they introduced in Next Generation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Or Deep
So I mean,
Space Nine.
that's a good concept that, I mean, Voyager did okay with.
Yeah,
So,
I would have rather just seen an entire series dedicated to the Dominion War.
oh, like
Been
or just an
brilliant.
entire series following just a crew of Maquis people floating between Federation and
Yeah.
Cardassian space.
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
But so maybe it was just like by comparison to Voyager, but watching Enterprise, it was actually bearable. It
Yeah.
was decent.
Like there were parts like Enterprise, I think, suffered from the same thing that Next Gen and Deep Space Nine suffered with they didn't find their stride, and I have a feeling that if they had
Another season,
because like towards the end it was getting kind of like
Well, they had a different showrunner on
Yeah,
it
I
than
think
like
so.
the first 2 who ran the first 3 seasons, and I mean, Nearer Darkly is in that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were some really interesting episodes. But even like first couple seasons where I saw some of the episodes from that for the reviews that I did on the website, they were surprisingly not bad. I mean,
Yeah.
I would put above acceptably watchable. Like it was certainly better. I would say that much.
I think it was just poor timing for him to come out too.
Yeah, and I mean, I still like it better than any of the stuff I watched than what I saw from Discovery. Because aside from a couple of like standalone episodes of Discovery, I really don't feel like that series found its footing.
Yeah.
Maybe it will in the next couple seasons, but
Yeah. Well, and I don't want to. This is going to sound not to get too political, but I think part of Enterprise's issue too was that Star Trek's always been a political show, and it's always used current politics to kind of.
Oh,
as like a
yeah.
backdrop.
I mean, from the 60s on, where they were commenting on race and communism and everything else,
So
yeah.
I think it's fair to say it's a pretty left-leaning liberal show,
Yeah, I would say.
and Enterprise kind of had that unfortunate, I guess, luck of the draw to be aired like right in the 9/11 era because Enterprise came out in 2001.
Yeah, and then it
Not
happened
to blame
soon after.
everything on 9/11.
No. But I
But-
can kind of get what you're saying, because at that point, it was very hard to comment politically on anything that was going on without seeming like you were some sort of radical.
Yeah,
and having stuff read into what you were saying that wasn't meant to be there.
Because a lot of great shows suffer from that, like the Lone Gunman with the X-Files spinoff.
Yeah, which I think you're one of the only people that watch that.
X-Files is amazing.
Not X-Files, Lone Gunman.
Lone Gunmen are also amazing.
Okay. I haven't. I mean, we can talk. You can talk X-Files at me all you want in another episode, but
Yeah,
I've watched like half a season
of Lone Gunman
of X-Files.
Oh,
so it's
where were you in the 90s?
Not like watching Buffy instead.
See, I missed out on the Buffy train. I got that later.
Yeah, you got that later, and I still have to go back at some point and watch X-Files. I have watched like the first parts of the first season, and it was decent, but it didn't catch me.
Just once David Duchovny leaves, it's kind of
yeah. So let's start towards wrapping this up because I think we've been talking for a while now.
Yeah, we almost stayed on topic the entire time.
Almost, for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did talk about some stuff, and 9/11 comes up in every one of our discussions.
Apparently, weirdo. So what do you think of the series, like, moving forward? The franchise, I guess I should say, because they're doing the short treks, which I know you haven't watched.
Yep. I didn't know they existed until you told me about them.
Well, now you can leech off of my CBS account and go see them.
What do you mean? I buy my own legally for legal purposes.
Okay. I just meant, like, we can go into my living room later and you can just watch it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so you could just... Yeah, you can watch that, but then, they have the Picard show that's coming out that I think everyone just calls Picard. Like, I really hope it's just like a Mary Tyler Moore Show spin-off where it's just Picard living in an apartment, like...
Reading a book and drinking tea.
And then, like, having, like, misadventures at his job, working at, like, a newspaper, dealing with tenants in his building or something. I would watch the hell out of that.
I mean, Patrick Stewart could read a book on how to grow grass.
I know.
And I would watch it, so...
He'd make it interesting.
He has a very calming effect on me. I don't know what.
Picard with an exclamation point.
As long as you do an 80s freeze frame.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic. So you were going to actually talk about that, and I totally railroaded you there.
No, you're fine. I'm thinking about Picard wearing a pillbox hat for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I don't think Mary Tyler Moore had a pillbox hat.
No, but I could see him with the little, like, knitted beanie, and he just throws it in the air.
Just wearing a Jackie O
That'd be
dress.
amazing. Yeah, he could pull it off.
I mean...
He was the best lobster that one Halloween.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he has fantastic thighs. We saw that in season 1 of Star Trek Next Generation. So,
clearly, I did not watch that episode. Maybe I have to go back now. So, anyway,
but I'm excited to see where everything goes.
Yeah,
I think season 2 of Discovery left a pretty good cliffhanger after season 1.
I think it could be interesting to see where it goes because I mean, obviously, I still have my CBS account, so I'm going to watch it, and I have a website. I have a website that demands that I continue watching it.
In Twilight Zone, which is, I mean,
and I mean, I know most people don't watch this who aren't like under the age of 50, but I do like Elementary, so I still watch that show too. So there's been stuff for me to use my account for and not feel like I'm paying for it month after month. Yeah. So. And then there's the new comedic animated series they're doing for it, Lower Decks they're calling it, which, I mean, maybe.
We'll see.
I could see it succeeding, and I could see it dying after a single season.
Yeah, well, I mean, with, I don't know if you've watched The Orville yet on Fox.
I haven't, but that sounds like the exact kind of, like, parallel to it. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's I know you're not a huge Seth MacFarlane fan.
Nope, not in the least. I hate everything he does.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly, his greatest fan, but I did like A Million Ways to Die in the West because Neil Patrick Harris is my boy.
I mean, I get that. But I certainly get that.
The Orville's it's the way Next Gen should have been, in my opinion. It's comedic and it's serious and it's not so veiled political statements.
Yeah, well, and I know I need to at some point go back and watch the Orville because if nothing else, do it for the website and just be like, hey, this is here, and watch a season of it and be like, cool, that's awful, I'm done with it now.
But it's pretty good. Like the first couple episodes were kind of rough. It took a little bit to find their footing.
I heard that. I heard like the first 6 or so you can
2 or 3
more or less ignore, and then it finally picks up.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I'm excited that it has a season 2. And I think that's going to give CBS a real run for their money, because Seth MacFarlane is doing a better Star Trek than Star Trek's doing
so far. But don't worry, Picard is there
with an explanation.
Got the exclamation point of the hat in the air.
I want that to be a thing.
Oh my god! Can we suggest that to Patrick Stewart and just have that happen? Because I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. As long as Ian McKellen's involved somehow.
Oh God, yeah. He could be the the Rhoda.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so apparently we're the only two people listening to this that have actually watched all of
So
those
Mary
shows.
Tyler Moore is a comedian, and she had a television show called The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Really?
Yep. Just
Wow.
catching everyone up to speed.
There you go.
It was funny.
All right, well, thank you, Josh, for conversing with us about Star Trek. This was Not So Live from Asteroid G. I was your host, Mike Finkelstein, joined by,
Josh Schaefer.
and we will see you next time.